Hi everyone, it's Hani from Haniela'S. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are kicking off our 7-day long Halloween video parade. I teamed up with Marlene from Montreal Confections and we're gonna bring you 14 new tutorials, a tutorial day each of us. Don't forget to subscribe so you'll get all the updates about all the Halloween fun we are sharing this week. Today I'm gonna show you how to make these spider cupcakes, creepy spider cupcake cookies. For this project, you're gonna have to make some royal icing transfers. I'll show you in a minute how you make those. And then you're also gonna need an airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, you could try using food color mist. They're available in craft stores or online. To start, I'm gonna just cover my template with a piece of wax paper, and I'm gonna be using icing about 20-second consistency, and you just want to pipe a large dot of icing. That's for the biggest part of the body, and then you can smooth it out if there's a little peak, and then you have to let it crust before you move on to the next section. As you see, the large dot is not as shiny as the freshly piped icing, so that's how you can kind of tell that it's crusted. Perhaps not dried all the way, but it's good enough for you to start piping the second part of the body. And then again, you have to let it crust again. And then we can add the final part of the body. So this is the tiniest little dot. You just have to add little tiny dot, and then you actually have to let this dry overnight, and once they're dry you're gonna be able to peel them off the wax paper. See how easy it is? You can make these ahead of time and store them in an airtight container and use them when you are ready to make the cupcakes. To make the cupcakes, I'm starting with the bottom part. I'm just gonna ice it with black royal icing. And then you want to let it sit for about 20 minutes, just crust it over, and then you can ice the remaining top part of your cupcake with white icing. And what I'm gonna do next, I'm calling that dry on wet application, meaning I'm gonna apply dry royal icing onto the wet icing. I'm gonna take body of our spider and I'm just gonna put it on a wet white icing. Like that. And then you can put as many spiders as you want on there, and then you just have to let it dry completely. Once it's dry, you can start adding all the legs. One thing about royal icing transfers, when you are using royal icing transfer that is darker color than your base wet royal icing, it's fine. But if it's opposite, if your base color is darker than your royal icing transfer, the dry on wet technique really doesn't work, because the dark color is gonna seep through the lighter royal icing transfer. I've tried it and I wasn't really successful with that. But when you are doing dark royal icing transfer on lighter background, it's usually very successful when you are doing dry on wet application. And if you are not certain about the legs, where you can put them, you can also help yourself and draw the legs using a needle tool. Nobody will notice. It's pretty invisible. It's just for you, for your reference, for the reference where you can pipe. And once you're done with all the spiders, we can start drawing the spider webs on the bottom part. I'm using white food gel coloring, napkin, and then also a small painter's brush, and you could also use some vodka to dilute the color if you need to. If you're not feeling the painting on the cookies, what you could do, you could also do wet on wet when you're flooding the bottom cookie with black royal icing. You could just pipe few lines and then drag the toothpick through the lines, creating a spider web that way. I really like the more complex look of the spider web, so I wanted to paint it on. And then once you're done with painting, all we have to do is airbrush the very top part just around. As I mentioned before, if you don't have an airbrush, no, not a big deal. You could also use color mist sprays that are available. For the airbrush, I'm gonna first start with black. I'm just gonna go around the edge, and then you can finish it off, giving it a little silver sheen. And that is basically how you make a creepy spider cupcake cookie. If you don't have a large cupcake cookie cutter like I used here, you can use any other shape. It doesn't have to be a cupcake cookie cutter. So I think that's it. I hope you liked this tutorial. Don't forget to give it thumbs up, subscribe, and you'll get all the video updates delivered to you via email. Thanks for watching.